Hello, my name's Nicole, and welcome to my blog entry number 2 for Cuin 4361. Today I have JB sitting with us to discuss her experience as an English language learner. Hi JB, how are you today?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for taking your time out to sit with me and answer a couple of questions. One of the questions I wanted to ask you was, what are some factors that are positive which influence your English language development and why?
So I'm from India, and since the very beginning, I've been schooled in an English medium school where we were, made to communicate in English and talk to everybody, right, from students to teachers to everybody working there in English. And if not, we were punished. So that was one of the biggest influences, actually, mandatory English speaking, which made us realize our mistakes while talking and which made us even more confident while communicating with people.
Okay. And what are some obstacles that you face with your English language development, and why do you think you face those obstacles?
Since it's not my first language, initially it's a little difficult to grasp, but then once you get the hang of it, it becomes really easy with the right resources, with the right kind of guidance. Especially after coming to the United States, I wouldn't call it an obstacle, but we have been, like, back in India, we use the Queen's language, and coming here, it's a different, tone, it's a different kind of language you use. So there are certain things that you guys use, we don't, and there are certain things we do that you don't. So only, that was one of the biggest hitches, but otherwise, it's been great.
And how did you overcome that obstacle as far as the difference in communicating in the language barrier?
Just by observing people, just by observing how local people here talk, what kind of language they use, how they express themselves, and just trying to communicate more with you guys so that, we get habituated with the way you speak. So yeah, just by observing, actually.
Okay. And how easy or difficult do you think it would be for other students to develop literacy in English, and why?
It shouldn't be very difficult, honestly. If you have the right kind of guidance, if teachers stick to the basics, if students, take efforts themselves, read other books, not just the course material, try all the online stuff that's available these days, it shouldn't be that difficult, actually.
Okay. And what are some things you think the teacher should do to address the needs of students learning English today?
Stick to the basics, not to expect too much from all the students, because definitely not everybody is going to be on the same level with respect to grasping things as well as with respect to the knowledge they have about this language. So just sticking to the basics, asking students to read, making them write short stories, essays, so that it inculcates, a habit of writing English and, using good vocabulary. And just using a standard grammar book that will help everybody, in general, to increase their English knowledge.
Okay. And do you think technology helps or hinders students learning English as a second language?
It's actually both. There's so much available online these days, so you cannot guarantee what's right and what's wrong. But having said that, the generation today, they're extremely fortunate that they have so many, resources available online. You have so many apps, you have so many, add-ons on your laptop that you can add while writing, and it'll help you check your grammar. It'll help you give suggestions for good vocab. So if used properly, and if you used the ones that people are used to using, so I guess it should be fine.
Okay. And what kind of lessons do you remember that your teacher used with you when you was learning English as a second language?
Most importantly, sticking to the basics, knowing what you want to convey, thinking twice before putting it down on paper, thinking 10 times before speaking it out loud, and just sticking to the basics. Actually, and staying true to yourself, not, trying to convey something with the, fantastic vocabulary and then messing it all up. So yes, and reading, of course. I cannot emphasize more on the importance of reading, reading has had in my life. So yes, reading a lot.
And do you think learning English as a second language should just stop at the school, or should they continue like at home, or practicing amongst others, or is it just something that schools should just be the only ones focusing on teaching?
To be honest, there's everything that stops at one level. It's upon that individual how he or she takes the thing forward. You could learn mathematics till, say, your junior college and then stop altogether, but that doesn't mean you stop addition and subtraction and multiplication for the rest of your life, right? Mm-hmm. It's the same with English. You'll stop getting the guidance from teachers, but then you'll have to, work on yourself and try to develop yourself on your own.
Okay, so practicing is
Yes,
effective.
definitely.
Is there anything you wish your teacher had done differently in teaching you English?
No, not at all. I just feel that we had more online resources available back then, so it would be easier for us. But otherwise, no. I'm way too happy with what my teachers have done.
Thank you so much for sitting down and taking time to explain to me exactly your experience as an English language learner. And thank you again for taking time out to watch this video for Cuin 4361. Have a great day.